So literally 7 days ago today, a 17-year-old came into my program, ran ads for the very first time, closed 3 clients at 3K each, making 9 grand in total at 17 in his first 15 days flat. That was the quickest I had ever scaled anybody ever in business past that 8.3K per month mark with their business. That was a coach. I'm here sat now looking at this camera saying that we've actually got a win even quicker than that. So here's Jay on the screen. He comes into the program, trying all these different funnels. Nothing's working for him. Tried cold outreach, funnels, ads, all this stuff. He then says, you know what? I'm going to listen to Montel and try his new CSL funnel that he's running. He not only then implements it for his own business and breaks even on his like 5th or sixth day. So 5 days into running his ads, he goes and breaks even and closes his first client, breaking even on his ad spend, which is crazy. He saw the potential in that, starts getting excited. And he said, you know what? This is so good. I'm getting so many book calls. His first book call came in, by the way, at literally $18 on his very first day of running these ads. $18 spent, first book call. He then says, this system's working so well for me that I'm literally going to take my agency services, scrap them, and just replace my agency services with the same funnel that Montel's just taught me to acquire clients for my own agency. How crazy is that? This guy saw the potential in this funnel that he said to himself, I'm changing my whole service delivery and I'm changing it to what Montel's doing. I'm taking the same funnel that Montel's just taught me to get myself clients for my own agency. And I'm just going to give this funnel to my clients so that I can run it for them. So this guy does this, switches on, all his service delivery for his clients. This guy ends up making a coach that he's working with 15,000 British pounds from £500 in ad spend, meaning he made 14,500 pounds profit, which is just under 20,000 US dollars profit for an online coach using this exact same funnel in his first 7 days of setting that up. If you don't believe me, here's him talking about it himself.
Yo, what's up everyone? So I just wanted to shoot a quick testimonial for Montel Gordon and his synthesizer program. So the one big shift that I had is I was running a completely different funnel for myself, for all my clients. And as soon as I found out about this funnel that he's using, I shifted it not only for myself, but for all of the clients that I'm working with and that I'm helping. And one of my clients, we got an extremely good case. We just start running the ads, and the very first ads that we were running got book calls for like £10. Was able to scale that, and with only £500 of ad spend, we were able to get 3 high ticket sales for £5K each. So that was £15,000 in a single week from running these ads. And I know it sounds crazy. I know you're probably watching this like, what the hell? How does that even work? Maybe it was luck, but to be honest, it was just this funnel. Like seriously, I tried a bunch of other funnels, even with the same client, and it was just the right offer with a good enough, expertise behind that, and then enough traffic, and then just selling that offer. So big shout out to Montel. He's an amazing guy, does really great work. And I couldn't recommend him more. See ya.
So just to recap, this is Jay. He ends up taking my program, learning the new funnel system, implementing it himself, getting results with it himself for his own business. So he closes clients for his own marketing agency through this, and then says, this stuff is so powerful that I'm just going to use this same funnel and give it to my clients, my agency clients. So he's a traditional agency running Facebook ads for clients. He's tried everything to get his clients results. He then switches to this funnel in 7 days flat, makes a client 15,000 British pounds, which is 20,000 US dollars, with 14 grand of that being profit, sheer profit, from just £500 in ad spend. That's a 30x ROI, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. That's like putting $1 into something and bringing back out $30. He's booking calls at £10 per call. And in this video, I'm just going to break down exactly what it is that we're doing so I can show you why it works so well if you're an agency or a coach. But yes, this is a new record. That's 2 people now. I keep breaking records each week. So last week it was a 17-year-old. Scaled him to 9.5K with a brand new offer for his coaching business. 3 clients each at $3,000 USD. And one was a split pay.
Yo, just want to give a huge shout out to Montel and the synthesizer program. So just for some context, my name is Knox. When I joined, I was running a video business. Now the problem was I was basically just only relying on cold outreach, which was not working. That's kind of why I joined with Montel. So over the past couple of months, he's really just taught me how to build a personal brand, how to start running ads, and consistently booking appointments on autopilot, which is huge because that's kind of allowed me to scale the coaching business. So I kind of transitioned from running a video business to now coaching and just teaching beginner videographers how to scale their own video business. So in the past 15 days, I've closed 9.5K in deals for the coaching business, which is literally insane. I never thought that was even possible, especially because, for me, I thought I had to be like this crazy expert to be coaching. But that's literally not the case. So super happy with Montel. He's such a great guy. Even if I got nothing out of the program, I'd still be happy with the purchase just because he's such a great guy. And I'm just happy to be friends with him. So if you're still on the fence, hopefully this helps. Obviously, I've had a absolutely great experience working with him. So hopefully this helps. Peace.
And then this particular client here, Jay, then goes and uses the funnel for himself, gets results with it for himself in the very first day, and then close the client in the very first 5 days, and then says, you know what, this is so powerful, I'm just stealing this and just using it for my clients. Runs it for his clients. One of his clients makes a 30x ROAS, booking in calls at £10 per call. Closed 3 clients at $5,000 each. Yeah, 3 clients at $5,000 each. That's British pounds as well. So that's like $6,000 US. Probably a little bit more than that per client each for his client. So his client's very happy and his agency is growing very, very well. This is how you're going to be able to charge those 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a month marks with your agency. Because if you're bringing somebody in 15 grand in the first 7 days, imagine what it's going to be like after 90 days when this stuff optimized. You start bringing in clients, results like this, 15 grand in a week. That's 60 grand a month coming in. If the results, even if you half the results, that's still 30 grand per month. Of course, you can charge $3,000 a month for this stuff, plus a 10% ROAS revenue share on top of this. Let's make agencies great again. Let's make services great again. And let's jump into this video exactly how Jay's gone about doing this and what this funnel's all about. Okay, so let's dive straight into this. I haven't got time to mess around. I'm actually in between calls right now. So just real quick, this is the old funnel that most gurus will teach you. This is the old, outdated opt-in page. We call it the OVBT funnel. OVBT. So you've got an opt-in page, a video page, you've got a booking call page, and then you've got a thank you page. This is the old way of getting clients through what you call a VSL funnel. I don't recommend running VSL funnels anymore. By the way, before we even get into this, you've got to understand where I came from. So I started with cold outreach, absolutely sucked. I then went on to Upwork. That actually was very, very successful. That's where I got my big breakthrough. So if you're looking to just like get clients very quickly, use Upwork so you can put money into ads. That's the new system that we teach inside of Client Synthesizer, which is a 6-month, coaching program that you can get into if you want to. Long story short, this is where these results are coming from. Now, Upwork into ad money is honestly the greatest play ever because it's like Upwork, you can get clients relatively quickly. That money then goes into ads, which allows you to afford these particular ads. So I just want to get into that. The next thing I got into was obviously getting clients through like YouTube and stuff like that. Upwork, I did, put into cold emails. Cold emails don't work anymore. Don't do cold emails. They'll keep you broke. Do not do cold emails. They'll keep you broke. I am telling you, with $30 a day, I can outperform and book you more calls on your calendar in the first, I would say, 10 to 12 days than you have with a month's worth of cold emails. If you don't believe me, look at my ads manager. Take a look at this. This is my actual ads manager. Yes, I'll refresh the page because I know that some people are going to be like, oh my God, Cap, this is not real. Yes, it's real. Here's my actual ads manager. I'm going to scroll over to the right. You're looking at this middle campaign here. Forget the top and the bottom just real quick. I spent 1.8K on ads in my first, this is a week, 1 week. Booked in 63 calls at £29 each. £29 each, which is like $32, $35, whatever that is. Just to give you some context, when I'm cranking on YouTube, because obviously I use YouTube to grow my consulting business. And my consulting business helps agency owners and consultants. So we practice what we preach. I've done those two things, so I help with those two things. Oh, we also help people with digital products as well. I help with those two things because I've done those two things. Make sense? Okay, so that's where we're coming from, just so you know. Let me just get rid of this this text here. I probably won't be able to get rid of this text here, but you get the point. So this is the old funnel. Looks very, very ugly because I've just, you know what? I can crop this, hopefully. We can crop that. Now we go, starting to think smart. But let me just break this down for you. So this is the old funnel that a lot of gurus still teach. The problem with this funnel is that there's so many blockages. Let me explain something to you real quick. So this, everybody go watch this right now. Like pause this video, come back, watch this. This is literally a children's show called The Avatar. I'm pretty sure we've all watched The Avatar. Avatar is honestly just one of the greatest shows to exist, if I'm being honest with you. Is there a way for me to draw on this? Okay, cool. We can draw on this. Let me quickly draw on this real quick. So here's what the average guru tells you to do when it comes to running ads. They tell you, you know, first of all, cold outreach sucks. Run ads instead. So they tell you to run ads, and then that traffic then drops onto an opt-in page. So you've got an opt-in page here that blocks the traffic. It's like a big blockage here. And then they watch a VSL here, and then they fill out an application form, and then they actually show up on your calendar. You have a call with them. So this is what the average VSL funnel looks like. This is literally what it looks like. And I don't know how I came up with this little analogy here, but this is literally what it looks like. Imagine this is the flow of traffic, right? This is the flow of traffic. And you're trying to get somebody from just seeing your ad, flowing all the way through your funnel to being a paid member or customer or client. This is where the money's at down here, because that's where the calls are at. So what people tell you to do is, you know, do a bunch of cold outreach, run, you know, it's either cold outreach, or they'll tell you to do cold outreach, rely on referrals, which is not a way to scale a business, by the way. That is what happens when your referrals dry up. If this pool dries up of referrals, yeah, you're done basically. So that's not a way to scale your business. So it's either cold outreach, you run ads, you post content organically, but that's all the way up and down. It's not very consistent. So your main way of getting clients in 2024 and 2025 and going forwards will be ads for sure. The problem though is that in this day and age, a lot of people are running ads to an opt-in page, to a VSL, to then get them to fill out an application form, to a thank you page, then they show up and then you have a close rate. Well, I've just basically gone and done the maths. And this is based on real numbers that gurus tell you to look out for. These are real KPIs, key performance indicators. This is what real gurus will tell you. Run ads on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're getting traffic from, but you're going to get a click of about $3 roughly per click. That means if you have a 20% opt-in rate on your page, so let's say somebody lands on your landing page. This is your landing page. Landing page. It's getting a bit ugly, but you get the point. That's your landing page. So your landing page looks like this. There you go. It's a landing page. You then collect people's email, phone number. I know you've seen this many times. Obviously, their name. And then you send them, you know, a bunch of emails. You call them up, all that sort of stuff. This is the traditional funnel. The problem with this is that it adds unnecessary blockages into the funnel. So this is where the traffic is trying to flow. So it's trying to get them to watch your VSL, because it's the VSL itself that has your offer in it, right? Correct. That's what a VSL does. Your VSL has an offer in it. The problem though is that you've got this big giant wall that's stopping people from opting in to even see the VSL in the first place. So here's where I was. I just want to break this down for you, where I was and how I came to this conclusion. So I was running ads. I had an opt-in page that was stopping people, and I honestly couldn't get this to convert more than 5%. That's supposed to say 5%. So it was stuck at 5%, meaning if I paid for 100 clicks at $3, that's $300 I'd spend. Out of that $300, only 5 people would make it past my opt-in page, meaning there'd be 100 people from my ad click on it, and only 5 people would actually watch the VSL, which is not enough data, not getting enough people to see my offer. That was one of my main issues. So then what I said was, well, I'm going to go try and change my opt-in page and see if I can increase it and, you know, increase the opt-in page. So I spent another couple of grand messing about with opt-in pages to try and increase its conversion rate. I tried to take it from a 5% opt-in to a 20% opt-in. I couldn't get there. I just couldn't get there. No matter what I did. I looked at all the best dudes in the industry's opt-in pages. I just couldn't get there. So I said to myself, wait a minute. Why do I even have this blockage here anyway? Why do I have an opt-in page? And I said, well, it's to collect leads. It's to collect leads, aka people's names, emails, and phone numbers. And then I asked myself, well, why am I trying to collect those pieces of data? Why am I even trying to collect people's names and emails and phone numbers? And then I said to myself, well, that's just what marketers do, isn't it? You just collect a person's email, then you throw them into the back-end system, and you got like emails and you nurture them over time. And I was like, yeah, that is true, but really, the only reason why I'm doing all of that and collecting people's emails is so that I can hit them up to get them to book in a call. So I said to myself, wait a minute, why don't I just try and get them straight to my VSL instead? Because it's the VSL that gets them to book in a call. So why don't I just optimize for getting people to book a call directly instead of giving me their email and then me messing about trying to set up this elaborate email flow where I'm sending like 20 emails to them and 20 SMS messages to them and spamming them to try and get them just to watch the VSL. Why don't I just get them to watch the VSL by just removing the opt-in page? So guess what I did? I removed this opt-in page and it was instantly like this scene in Avatar. This is a scene in Avatar where you've got Ang here and Guru Patik here. Guru Patik is basically showing Ang how to allow the flow of chakra to flow from one pool to the other pool, aka like an ad traffic to your VSL. So I don't know why this reminded me of this scene here, but it did. And I realized that in my funnel, there was a big blockage. And it was this thing here for no reason. I wasn't really doing anything with the emails and phone numbers anyway. So even when I did get somebody for $20, a lead for $20, I was wasting a lead. It was actually more than $20 per lead for me. So it was only converting at 5%. It was terrible. Literally like ass cheeks. So I said to myself, why don't I just remove this blockage? Just like how Guru Patik shows Ang how to remove the blockage from these blockages here. He shows him how to remove this blockage here. So I said, okay, I'm going to try and remove my blockages. So what I decided to do is I just literally got rid of the opt-in page. Here's why. I realized that my offer, the things that I wanted people to book in on a call for, like the things I was offering, was explained inside my VSL. So what's the point having 100 people get to a page and only 5 of them make it past that page just to see the VSL? Why don't I just show everybody the VSL that clicks on my ad? So I said, okay, let me try that second. So I took my ads and instead of dropping them onto an opt-in page here, we skipped the opt-in page and dropped them straight on to a VSL. A video sales letter. That's what VSL stands for. This is just a 5, 10, 15, 20 minute long video, right? But what I noticed with my VSL was that it was 35 minutes long. Not only did I know that, but I also realized that, and I looked into the analytics of this, but this is that first stage, the first change I made, which was removing this, the first change I made was removing the opt-in page, which already allowed me to collect more data on how my VSL was converting. Think about it. Think about what I just said then. Nobody was barely even seeing the VSL anyway, so I didn't even know whether or not I had a good high converting VSL in the first place because I was paying so much money just to get people over the first hurdle. So I removed the first hurdle and just dropped people from the ad straight onto the VSL without them needing to opt in or put their email address in. So I removed that page. And by doing so, for every 100 clicks I got, like 98% of them would actually play the VSL because they've clicked on the ad and it auto-played. So there's obviously still a little bit of a drop-off because some people don't wait around for your page to load, but at least 98% of people now are watching the VSL, which allows me to collect more data on my VSL to see if it converts or not. So now that more people are watching my VSL, I'm paying for the same amount of clicks. It's the same money I'm spending. Paying for the same amount of clicks. They're watching this VSL, right? Well, they are now because there's no opt-in page. So now I can collect data on how well the VSL is doing. So I went into the back end of Vimeo. Vimeo, by the way, if you don't know what Vimeo is, Vimeo.com is just a hosting platform where you can host your VSLs. You can upload videos, host your videos. So I uploaded my VSL was already uploaded on there, but pretend that this is my timeline of my VSL. This is a 35-minute video. This is minute 0. This is 35 minutes. What I realized with my VSL, now that I removed my opt-in page, is that people are now watching my VSL. So now I'm collecting stats and analytics so I can see its performance. Forgive my writing. I can see its performance now, which is the big key. Because with data and statistics, I can make educated guesses and changes and make decisions based on data. So now more people are watching this VSL. I'm collecting more data on how those visitors are watching my VSL and how long they're staying for. Are they on mobile? Are they on desktop? What countries are they coming from? Which person seems to have the highest retention rate? And I realized that only 6 minutes of my VSL was being watched out of 35 minutes. Meaning like the rest of my VSL was like unwatched. That's like 29 minutes of VSL not being watched. So I wasted 29 minutes even creating this. But at least I know now, because I removed the opt-in page to get people to watch this VSL. So now I'm starting to collect more data on this. You see what I'm trying to say? So just to recap, the first step was I removed the opt-in page to get 100% of the people, or let's say 98% of the people, to actually at least watch the VSL. Because at this point, I didn't even know if I had a good VSL or not. And you won't know that until you get a bunch of people to watch it. So you've got to get a bunch of people to watch your VSL. The second thing I realized, the second realization was, my VSL was only being watched on average for 6 minutes out of the 35 minutes. So then what I did was, the third change I made is I actually went and watched my own VSL, and I watched the first 6 minutes of it. So pretend this is the VSL once again. This is minute 35, and this is the duration. People were getting stuck here. There was something in my VSL that was, stopping people from hit past the 6th minute. This is minute 6 here, 6 minutes in. So I went and watched this first 6 minutes of my VSL and realized there is nothing about my offer in this first 6 minutes. It's just me introducing myself and explaining who I am and blah, 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 blah. There is nothing that would benefit a potential client from watching that first 6 minutes of the VSL. So no wonder why people left. It was just me talking about me and my statistics and showing proof and case studies and all this sort of stuff, but it's not really showing them how I can help them, what's in it for them. So I said to myself, well, this is a huge waste of money when you think about it. I'm paying for people to get onto this opt-in page. It's not even converting, so I'm wasting money there. And then when people do get to my VSL, they're only watching 6 minutes of the VSL. And then not only that, to make matters worse, the first 6 minutes of the VSL doesn't even state my offer. It doesn't state my offer. There's no offer statement in there. It doesn't explain what they get, why they should work with me, why I'm different, how we can help them, or anything like that. So the first 6 minutes, it was just fluff. There was nothing in there. It was just fluff. Put it this way, it didn't state my offer at all. So I was paying for people to watch 6 minutes of this VSL, and those 6 minutes didn't even have my offer, because my offer was revealed at the back like 5 to 6 minutes of the VSL. The last 6 minutes of the video, that's where my offer was introduced. The problem is that people weren't even staying long enough to watch the last 6 minutes of my offer. So I was paying for people to not see my offer. So the fourth change I made was, okay, I'm going to go to a VSL to what you call a CSL. When I did this, I am telling you, my cost per call went from $300. I was spending on ads about $300 to generate one call. I changed this, and in the very first week, look at this, the very first week of running ads, I'll refresh the page one more time so you can see that this is real. I'm going to scroll over. my cost per call went down to £30. The very next week, the week after that, from the 23rd to the 30th, we booked in 82 calls in a week at £24 per call. That's $30 per call. So I 10x'd, or should I say I lessened my cost per call and reduced it by 10x. I reduced my cost per call by 10x. So for the same $300 I was spending on ads on this funnel, I would generate one call. So I took this same $300 and I reduced my cost per call down by 10x, meaning for the same $300 on this funnel here, right, I'd get 10 calls. You see how crazy that is? Not only that, but I want you to look at these statistics here, because these are actual statistics. $3 cost per click. And you can do the maths really easy. So let's do the maths on this funnel. $3 cost per click. You divide that by 0.2 to get a 20% opt-in rate. We can see we're spending $15 to get a lead. That's if your funnel or your opt-in page converts at 15%, which means it costs you $15 just to get one person to watch your VSL. Then if that VSL only converts at about 5 to 7%, typically the best in the industry are converting at about 7%. So we'll take the best in the industry, which means you have a $214 conversion rate on your VSL. It costs you $214 just to get somebody to watch your VSL and then go to the next page where they think about booking in. They've not even booked in yet. That's just to get them from VSL to click through to the next page. It costs you $214 for that. By the time you spent $214 on just that, I would have generated 7 actual book calls on my calendar. 7 actual calls on my calendar. By the time you spent $214, somebody would have that's just getting one person to watch your VSL. So that was $214 to get somebody to watch your VSL and then click onto the book call page. Now, let's say people that click onto the book call page, 80% of them, which is very high, decide to book in a call instead of just, messing about or leaving the page. So what we would do is take the 214, divide it by 0.8. And as you can see, we've got a cost per book call of about $267. This is rounded. I believe this number is rounded up. Now, let's say out of the $267 cost per call, and by the way, that's just to get one call. Let's just say that the quality is not all going to be there. Meaning you're not going to get not every single call you book through a VSL funnel is qualified. People will tell you that. But let's say you do cancel 20% of the calls and you're left with 80% of them. So let's pretend that you've got 80% qualified rate. That means your cost per qualified book call on your calendar, this is not show up, this is just a qualified book call that's on your calendar that you've not cancelled, that you've left and you actually take the call. That's $334 per call. Now, not all of those calls that you book are going to show up. People no show all the time. In fact, in the B2B market, 75% show up rate is industry average. 50% in B2C. Meaning if you're in B2C and you're selling some of coaching program or whatever, 50% of the calls you book are not even going to show up. So you'd need to double this number. You would need to double this number. Or if you're in B2B, because people use calendars, they're better at remembering that they've actually got a call. B2C is terrible. It's like 50%. But even so, let's say you've got a 70% show up rate, which means you take this number, you divide it by 0.75. Your cost per live show up, I believe I rounded this number down, by the way, for you, is about $445. You can do this maths on a calculator. Now, let's say out of the calls that you book, you have a 1 in 4 close rate. Well, then all you need to do is times this by 4. Your cost per client works out to be, so how much it costs you to get one client works out to be $1,783. And anybody in the industry will tell you this. I can remember going through Mr. Sam Ovens' program literally back in 2019, I believe it was, and him breaking down these exact same statistics and him saying you should aim for a 1.8 cost per acquisition. Look at how accurate these numbers actually are. So by the way, Sam Ovens does know his stuff. He absolutely knows his stuff. And this is coming from Sam Ovens. Yes, the same guy that Alex Hormozi is building school on right now. Literally. And he said this back in 2000. I think his program came out in 2018. I got it in 2019. Listened to it. And he broke down this exact same funnel and said that typically you're going to get a client with ads by spending about 1.5K to as high as 1.8K. So these numbers are absolutely accurate. In fact, I was just on a group call with my community. And one of the students in there, Shav, shout out to you if you're watching this, said that he's spending more money just to get more money than this here. I pulled up this same chart here. I pulled up this exact same chart. I pulled this exact same chart up on our group call. And he said, I'm spending way more money than this to get a book call because I'm getting people to go through a type form. I'm getting people to opt in, watch a VSL, and then they're going through a type form where they fill out details so that at the end it's a qualified call. He said, I'm spending way more money than this. So he couldn't get it profitable. I'm here to tell you, I did this exact same funnel. My cost per call was $300. I switched to this. On the first week, we booked in 60 something calls. Here it is again. 63 calls, £29 each. The week after that, 82 calls at £24 each. The week after that, 54 calls. A little bit more expensive. We changed something in the funnel. But still, that's the highest my cost per call's been. Quite literally. So that means in the first 2 weeks, we booked in 131 book calls for my offer. Profited, on the first, I think it was 7 or 8 days. Something on the lines of that. Put it this way, I only need to close 3 clients a month to make this profitable. The whole month. Quite literally. Not even joking. So when Jay comes into the program, here you go. Let's go to the win section. Here we go. So when Jay comes into the program, take a look at this. Like I said, £500 spent on this exact same funnel setup. The CSL. The CSL is a reverse of the VSL. Don't run VSLs anymore. I'm telling you, they keep you broke. Well, they don't keep you broke, but they're expensive. Cold outreach keeps you broke. VSLs are just expensive. That's why every guru tells you you've got to sell something ridiculously high ticket, like 5 to 15 grand on a VSL funnel. But take a look at this. £500 spent on this same funnel system, 15K made in 7 days flat for Jay. So Jay, if you're watching this, shout out to you, my bro. That was just 1 hour ago by the time of recording this. He sent me that just a couple hours ago. 7 days ago, 1 week, I literally just put this. My record of scaling somebody. The quickest I've scaled somebody to 10K a month, 17-year-old. Check this out. Just got off a group call with Knox. Used the same CSL funnel. Booked in his first call on his very first day for $17 spent. Qualified too. Jay did the same thing, by the way. The other guy that just got his client 15K. Made his client 15K. Here are his metrics. About $1,000 spent on ads over 15 days. So about $65 a day spent on ads. Had a limit on his account. 24 book calls at $41 per call. Absolutely beautiful metrics. People are used to spending literally $300 plus for a call. You will know this. This is a notoriously thrown about number that's like, yeah, this is just the numbers. This is what all marketers basically adhere to. Not only do they adhere to it, but it's like the GOAT number. Like if you have a $300 cost per book call and you sell a $5,000 program, you're going to be stupidly profitable. It's printing money. You're printing money. But we found an even better system. Even better system where you can put $329 into ads and bring back out a client at $3,000, making it a 9.1 ROAS. This ROAS, by the way, on what Jay's got for his client, he spent £500 on ads and brought back 15 grand. That's a 30x ROAS. Meaning, if he goes and spends like $2,000 on ads, and he gets half of that, so a 15x ROAS. Let's say his costs let's just say for no reason whatsoever, except for just making it, throwing juju and magic onto this, for some reason, his clients' metrics just double out of nowhere. Doesn't really happen. It can happen though. But let's just say they double out of nowhere. But he puts $2,000 into ads. That would mean his ROAS would half. Are you following the maths here? 30 divided by 2 is 15, 15x. Meaning his costs doubled to acquire a client. But let's say he puts 4 times more into these ads, which he should, by the way. Jay, run this up. Don't stop spending money on this. Run this until it breaks. Don't touch anything. Run it until it breaks. Take the winning ads and just make more ads. If you guys don't know how to make ads, by the way, I just recorded a whole module on how to set these ads up, which is why these students are killing it like this. How to set the ads up, how to use AI to help you with the ad setup, what to do if you don't like being on camera. We've got a system for that. So I know that most of you don't want to be on camera. And it still works. As well as how to target. How to set the ads up, what to say in the ads, how to launch the ads, how to go live with the ads, how to book calls with the ads. But let's say his costs double. $2,000 times 15 is $30,000. You see how crazy that is? You see how crazy that is? Even if his costs double, but he still puts more money into this, he's going to get his client about another $30,000 coming in. Which is how and why you will be able to start charging $3,000 a month for this sort of stuff. If you get clients a return where you're charging them $3,000 a month, but they're making $30,000 a month, they will pay you that all day, every day. Why? Because you're getting them such a significant ROI, your cost becomes negligible, irrelevant, doesn't even matter. For example, if you help Apple earn an extra $1 million per month, which is nothing to them, they will happily pay you $100,000 a month. Easily. Probably a little bit more than that. I always aim for a 10x though. Always aim for a 10x. Anyway, with that being said, this is the new funnel that's absolutely killing it. This right here is called the CSL funnel. There's no opt-in. No opt-in. So it's straight ad to the CSL. CSL converts at about 18%. That's a little bit low. Mine converts at about, 20% or something like that? A bit more than that. I think it's actually 30%. Yeah, it's like 29%. But I've taken these numbers and made them so super realistic. This works for agency owners. Well, we just saw that for an agency. Jay's literally an agency owner. Works for coaches. You just saw a 17-year-old make 9.5K in his first 15 days. Works for people selling high-ticket digital products. It's kind of what I do, mixed in with one-to-one stuff. So these are the funnel steps. Add to the CSL funnel. The CS funnel to the book call page. The book call page to the thank you page. That thank you page is designed to get people to show up. Even if you have an 80% conversion rate, that means you're spending $17 to get somebody to your book call page. This is where you want people to be at. You want people to you want people reaching that book call page because that's where book calls get booked in. Now let's say for some reason it's a little bit lower and it's converting at 30% instead of 80% up here. Obviously, I just threw juju maths on that other funnel. Don't ask me why I'm saying juju maths today. I'm just throwing like magical maths on that other funnel because it's like I'm just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I'm taking this funnel and making it sound very shitty. Mine literally converts at 20%. This is like 40%. The not qualified rate is about 20%. The short rate is about 50%. So my funnel stats actually work out to be even better than this. But it works out to be $720 roughly to acquire a new client with this. If your numbers are crap, these are beginner numbers, rookie numbers. We can optimize this funnel much further and get this down all the way to whatever 500 divided by 3 is. Jay brought in 3 clients. So 166 pounds. I'm going to look back at this recording and be like, Montel, what? You literally said this number earlier today. 166 pounds cost per client. So for every 166 pounds Jay's spending with his client, he's bringing in his client's bringing in a new student for their program at £5,000. So he's turning 166 grand, 166 pounds, excuse me, into 5,000 British pounds, which is, I'm not even too sure what that is in US dollars. I think it's like 6K, 6.2K, whatever. But guys, if you want help with this, go below, book in a call, stop messing about. This stuff, honestly, is insane. And again, this is the same Jay, by the way, I mentioned in my last video. Like, even people are saying like Montel might actually be the GOAT of ads. Not really, honestly. I just tried a bunch of stuff, found out what doesn't work, and now I know what does work. Crazy stuff. I had a great job. There you go. This group's only been open 7 days, guys. We've already had these 2 wins in 7 days. No, 11 days, excuse me, whenever it's been. It's only been like 11 days. This was posted on the very first day of opening the group, which is crazy. So it's been open 11 days. This is what we've done in the last 11 days. So if you're tired of messing about with cold outreach, relying on referrals, posting organic content on YouTube, like I used to do. Like I said, my record for this YouTube channel, my entire YouTube channel. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Look at this. I spent years building this YouTube channel. Well, there you go. Only 5 days ago I posted this. So I've already beat that record in 5 days, 7 days. So I built this YouTube channel for 6 years and like 8 months. The most I've ever booked, and that's consistent as well. Being stupidly consistent with content. After 6 years, the record I've ever like calls booked on my calendar for my offers, I believe was 45 calls maybe. I believe it was 45 to 50 calls. Even if you say it's 50 calls, look at this. The very first week of turning on ads, I beat that. In fact, let me see how long it actually took me to beat the record. That's 45 calls was beat in 6 days. 6 years versus 6 days of work. It's not even really 6 days worth of work. It's you record one ad that has 5 hooks on it. Takes you 2 hours to set that up. Takes you another 2 hours to set up the funnel. So in 4 hours worth of work, I beat 6 years of posting content on YouTube. With 4 hours. 2 hours to set up my ads, 2 hours to set up my funnel. Run it. First 6 days in, 49 calls, £32 per call. Guys, I hope you can see how crazy this is. I'll be just going all in on this. I'm just taking all my money and just putting into all this. I'm not even joking. This is more profitable than buying Bitcoin, crypto, Nvidia stock. Literally. Buying a property. I'm not touching any of that. I'm taking all my money out of the investments and putting it into this. And I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I'm trying to get this I'm trying to spend $1,000 a day on this. $2,000 a day on this. I'll happily do that because the return is there. So I'll probably need a sales rep, by the way. Yeah, quite literally, look at this. Look at this stuff. It's insane. First 2 weeks. 137 calls, 2 weeks. So if you're booking below like 100 calls a month, I'll show you how to do that in like a week. I'll show you how to break that in a week. I'll break your record. In fact, you know what? Get on a call with me and I'll break your record for how many calls you've booked record in a month in your first week of running this. How about that? Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.